Book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like if iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles, my bishops, my elders of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, through the four corners of the earth. And to you believers that believe on the testimony of the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, out of the mouths of the prophets. To you I say Shalom. This is Brother Bauman Locke out of Great Millstone Camp, Austin, coming at you with this quick lesson. And this lesson really is centered around a video. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to call fair use, fair use. I'm not making any monetary gains off this video. It's only used for educational purposes only. It's only used for educational purposes only. And we're going to allow these two speakers to speak and on how the European leaders no longer trust America, Babylon the Great, which is spoken of in the Holy Scriptures. So you're never to trust, again, the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. It say, never trust thine enemy, for like if iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And we know that Esau, Edom, the so-called self-professed white man on the planet Earth, who are the biblical Edomites that the Bible speaks of. Edom means what? Red, Idumea. So, no, before we even get to that, let's go to this right here. I put in Google, I said, what happens when trust between nations erode? What happens when trust between nations erode? It says when trust between nations erode, it leads to a breakdown in international cooperation, heightened geopolitical tension, and increased military expenditures. This deficit limits the ability of the global community to address shared challenges like climate change and pandemics, often resulting in an economic instability on social fragmentations. It's economic fragmentations, and we'll just pick one of them out. Supply chain decoupling, and global trade fractures into regional blocks as countries view reliance on foreign markets as a strategy of vulnerability. What you're seeing right now with that oil, this is what you're witnessing with oil. The geopolitical military instability. You know what? You got an arms race. It said without diplomatic trust, nations increase military spending, modernize an arsenal, and participants in competitive power politics. And that's what you have taking place with this war right here. Because Israel, you know, those files that they have on y'all Caesar, they must be really bad, because they had him going into war against Iran. And Iran got rich in uranium. So, you know, everybody wanted get that great equalizer with that intercontinental ballistic missile. It's the great equalizer. It's the collapse of multilateralism, if I pronounce that right. A country used to work together. Now they no longer work together. It says dysfunctional diplomacy. And what you have witnessing here in America, Babylon the Great, is a dysfunctional diplomacy, man. It's very dysfunctional. Former international bodies and treaties face gridlock, rendering them unable to enforce international laws or negotiate peace. See, they can't even negotiate peace because Iran, contrary to what your leader said, every week they got a peace treaty on the table. Iran gave them before the war, when the war started, at the very beginning, they gave them seven things that they had to do. They're not going to backtrack from that because they got the upper hand. Domestic and social repercussions. The government prioritized local short-term interests over global progress, harming humanitarian aid, global health, and climate change. And one thing about Esau, he didn't give a damn about global health, climate, because you got this nigga called Kill Bates. He's up here, this nigga got a mosquito factory. This nigga is trying to block out the sun and everything else, man. So they don't give a damn about You know, you got chemtrails all in the sky. You got the worst foods in America and around the world here in Babylon. So they don't give a damn about no short-term interests over global progress, harming humanitarian aid and global health care and climate action. You know, America, Babylon the Great is what? Isolationism right now, because what? They the only country, along with Israel, they the only one that trusts Babylon the Great. Those don't no other country in the EU, you know, they don't trust America, nor do they trust Israel. So that's isolationism. I pronounced that right. You know, like brother Lamar say, we got these bastard tongues here. When we get back our pure language, man, we won't be speaking with this broken tongue. So it says, society contracts weakens, often empowering populists, anti-globalists, political movement, capitalize on public grievance and fears, and they are capitalizing on your public grievances and fears, man. So this will happen when trust between nations erode. This will happen, you know, because what? When you get a base matter, let's get that. I didn't even have that. Let's get that. Because let's get that. Let's go to Daniel. Let's go to Daniel. These things happen when you got a base man that's in control of the earth, man. The book of Daniel, chapter 4, and verse 17, it says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of man. And Esau, Edom, whether you Negro, Latinos, or Native Americans like it or not, he is the basis of man. The so-called self-professed white man on the planet Earth, he is the basis of man. So now we're going to go to this video. And the call, fair use. I'm not making any monetary gains off this video. It's only used for educational purposes only. Let's let this guy cook.
No one today trusts America. You talk to the leaders in Europe, not one of them trusts America. You go to the Middle East, not one of the leaders that I've met a number of them, trust America. The only one who trusts America was a military intelligence chief former of Israel. And I said, you're the only one in the world that trusts America. And his answer is, I have no choice. That means he knows that he doesn't trust America.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sad thing. I mean, speaking as an American, it really hurts me to see that happen. I think the world is going to be a really messy place when that is the case.
Question isn't whether America...
See? He said none of the European leaders trust America. He said none of them trust America. Let's go back to it again. Sirach 12 and 10. It said, never trust thine enemy, for like if iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. They know that Esau Edom is wicked, man. You know, because what? That trust has eroded between what? Nations. Matter of fact, let's go right here. Matter of fact, I want to get this in a blue letter. The book of Psalms, chapter 55. And we're going to go down to 20. Psalms 55. And, yeah, verse 20. We're going to read it both in the KJV and in the NLT. It said, he have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. And, you know, early on in the year, if y'all can go back and find a video, Trump, he was they was interviewing him. He was in the EU, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He was talking down on all the world leaders, you know, all the European leaders. He was calling them, you know, pretty much he was calling them shitbags. What he have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, he have broken his covenant, his allegiance, his alliance. Let's read it in NLT. As for my companion, he betrayeth his friends, he broke his promises. And that's what, you know, America, Babylon the Great does. They break their promises, man. Esau, Edom, you never to trust your enemy. And 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all are in love, infatuated with y'all enemies. But we're talking about these global leaders right now. But we can also throw 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans into the fold because y'all are stupid. Y'all are still trying to what? Y'all trying to build the perfect candidate to run against this guy in what, 2028? Y'all are still trying to build a perfect candidate. And you're still trusting your enemy, Esau, Edom, the so-called self-professed white man, woman, and child. Never to trust thine enemies, man. Why? Matter of fact, let's get this. I had this yesterday. Because the enemy is always going to be a liar. Let's go to, I didn't want that. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Read this yesterday. Why you don't trust your enemies? Psalms 58:3. It says, the wicked, Esau, Edom, the so-called self-professed white man, woman, and child, a Rasa, the criminal, adversary to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. It said, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. The Edomites, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So, you're never to trust thine enemy. Why? Again, because what? His verse 20, as for my companion, they were all companions at one time and another. They had the NATO and the EU. As for my companions, he betrayed his friends, Esau, Edom. He gonna betray his friends. He broke his promise. He broke that what? Hey, we're gonna protect y'all. As the so-called Arabians, when the war started, they supposed to be protecting them. But what? Iran said, fuck it, America, we know we're not gonna be able to beat you head on. But wherever you got your troops at, that's where we're gonna shoot missiles at. They didn't America, Babylon the Great didn't protect those countries. Dubai, they never protected them. Other places around that region that had American troops in. Now they saying, hey, get the fuck off from over here. Get off from over here, man. Y'all can't protect us. Y'all not the big bad bully on the earth any longer. Why? Because trust has eroded between the nations, man. Let's go back to it. Go back to this video. Fair use, not making any monetary gains off this video is only used for educational purposes. Let's go.
American power will decline. It's how violent that decline will be and who is going to suffer the most during the transition.
He said America power is declining. That's right, because they what? They getting ready to try to usher in their new world order. It's on the back of your dollar bill. What is it? Novos Odos Seclorum? Novos Odos Seclorum. They're the new world order. That's what Esau is trying to usher in. The fourth industrial revolution. Apostle them went to that on their street teaching this weekend. Technocracy. It's getting ready to be the what? The biggest, the greatest wealth transfer on the planet. And you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans still thinking that y'all votes gonna make a difference. Votes not gonna make a difference. The elite already got this thing settled out. You niggas gonna take that MOT to the B. They already told y'all that if you don't accept the digital ID, that you're not gonna be able to participate in society. Eventually, it's gonna turn into the MOT to the B that's spoken of in the book of Revelation 13:16. This is the biggest wealth transfer since the what? The Great Depression. You already seeing parts of this, man. Y'all Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are watching y'all next month. They talking about by July that there's not going to be any what? Oil, any gas. And if you was in the 72, 73, you'll understand that they had there was no gas. I was what, 7, 8 years old during that time period. Remember sitting in the back seat of the car, and my pops driving to different gas stations, no gas. Had to go park that car. This is getting ready to take place again. Because the what? The earth has been given into the basis of man. There's no new thing under the sun. Go read the scriptures. And he's talking about it. He's always cooking on Esau, Edom, especially, so-called the Edomites, the ordinary Edomites. And the Edomite, Edom, out of one, the white man, red.
What you're seeing as policy failures are actually strategies for decline, managing decline, while preserving elite wealth, while preserving elite advantage. And the looting is intensifying because the window is closing. The police state is being built precisely because they're trying to preempt any resistance. Trump's administration isn't incompetent. Don't tell yourself that. They're not fools.
And he said Trump or his cabinet is not incompetent. They're not. It's a wealth transfer. It's the Great Reset. He understands what he's doing. He was selected to bring about this new change. He was selected. He was never elected. He was selected. And that's something 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans don't quite understand. Your president is never elected. He's always selected by the global elites. Oh yeah, he'll be the guy that we want to run to bring about this change. Obama was selected to bring about to increase the alphabet community. You see, Trump was selected so that he can bring about the fourth industrial revolution. Every president, when they were selected, they allowed y'all to go in there because you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans and you Edomites think that y'all, my vote is my voice. They laugh at y'all. Every president has an agenda that he has to fulfill for the elite.
They're executing a specific strategy of asset transfer and fortification. While you're outraged about ICE raids, the actual wealth of your country is being systematically transferred in terms of your assets.
He's speaking about it. It's the greatest wealth transfer in the history. Everything's going to the digital currency. So you little dope dealers, you little scam boys, and everybody, y'all not going to be able to do anything now because everything going to be in a digital currency. Ultimately, the Esau Edom, he want to control your every movement, your digital footprint. He want to control that. A social credit score. They want to be like the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. That's what's ready to take place. But nevertheless, we'll allow them to finish cooking. Then
Being
we'll
systematically transferred to Gulf sovereign wealth funds, to Chinese investors, and to American oligarchs who themselves are positioning themselves for the post-dollar world, for the post-American world order.
It is my firm belief that the United
That's it. We don't need to hear now from Jake right there. Jake, them still talking about Kamala Harris and them voting because niggas are stupid, stuck on stupid. Let's go to, matter of fact, I did. I should have kept that up. Let's go to, I had Isaiah 8:20 up there, didn't I? For a reason. I had it for a reason. It said, the book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20, it says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it was because there is no light in them. If your leaders, and we know that your leaders, they weren't given this word because this word was only given to the prophets. The Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, matter of fact. Let's go to that. Let's go to Amos. We have to read this every time. Amos 3:7. Surely the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah would do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. See, the servants, the prophets, the only ones going to be able to give you, this truth, this 100% truth. They're the only ones going to be able to tell you about the prophecies that are taking place on the earth, man. They're the only ones going to be able to tell you, we're the prophets of doom. We're the real the newscasters telling y'all that America, Babylon the Great is getting ready to be thrown down, burnt with fire, thermonuclear fire at that. We're telling you, Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that you never to trust your enemies, which is Esau, Edom, Red, Adawan. We're telling you, Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that y'all are biblical Israelites and y'all are the Most High's chosen people, according to Deuteronomy 7:6. These are things we're telling. We're telling y'all that you're not to trust your enemies. We're telling you that all the prophecies that are spoken of, Jeremiah 30:7, Jacob's trouble is getting ready to take place. Because Esau, Edom, the low-level Edomites, they are what? They want this civil war to pop off, and the civil war will pop off on American soil. And this Jacob's trouble is for 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Well, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to allow Esau to have his one last get back on y'all. This is his last chance that he can what? He can be able to delete y'all. These things are getting ready to take place. This nigga Byron, I guess he used to be on Fresh and Fit. He's now, I guess he going to these campuses as well. And they had this one Edomite, and he was like, you know, when is the Civil War going to pop off? Cause what? Esau, Edom, they what? White nationalism. Hey man, they grinding their teeth to get on you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the Lord gonna give them this chance, the last chance. Jeremiah 30:7. Yeah, these things are getting ready to take place. You know, again, we'll close it out. Well, we're not going to close it out right here. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16, it's saying the 10 horns, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, America, Babylon the Great. The EU shall make her desolate. They're going to make her desolate with thermonuclear destruction. And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Those are going to be the missiles. It's going to be the missiles, man. Because the kings of the earth, man, they tired of Babylon the Great. The Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he controlled the kings of the earth. Proverbs 21:1. So America, Babylon the Great is getting ready to get burnt with fire. That's what I'm saying in Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it's because there's no light in them. You know, you got to understand these things, man. The prophets are telling you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, prepare yourselves. All hell is getting ready to break loose here in Babylon the Great. Why? Let's go. We'll close it out right here. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, and we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 10. Sirach. The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 8. It said, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, that fourth industrial revolution, that technocracy, the greatest wealth, the guy spake that they getting ready to what? To get the biggest wealth transfer in the world, the history of the world, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. The kingdom is getting ready to be translated from the Esau Edomite into Jacob. To Jacob. Jacob consists of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are what? Jacob's name was changed to Israel, Yasharallah. He prince of the power. He has power with the prince. And he's the progenitor of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Matter of fact, let's go to East Second Ezra. We'll close it out here. Right to the point. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau is Edom, red out of one. For Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob, Yasharallah, he prince of the power, the progenitor of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, is the beginning of it that followeth. He is the beginning of it that followeth, Israel. So I pray this lesson has been edifying. I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles, my bishops, my elders, a great millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah through the four corners of the earth. Shalom.